Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1 inch. Remember that the stock market is a manic depressive. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Beware the investment activity that produces applause. The great moves are usually greeted by yawns. For the investor, a too high purchase price for the stock of an excellent company can undo the effects of a subsequent decade of favorable business developments. Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Never invest in a business you cannot understand. If returns are going to be 7 or 8% and you're paying 1% for fees, that makes an enormous difference in how much money you're going to have in retirement. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. The 3 most important words in investing are margin of safety. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price, than a fair company at a wonderful price. If a business does well, the stock eventually follows. For the investor, a too high purchase price for the stock of an excellent company can undo the effects of a subsequent decade of favorable business developments. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. All there is to investing is picking good stocks at good times and staying with them as long as they remain good companies. Successful investing takes time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. It is a terrible mistake for investors with long-term horizons, among them pension funds, college endowments, and savings-minded individuals, to measure their investment risk by their portfolio's ratio of bonds to stocks. Calling someone who trades actively in the market an investor is like calling someone who repeatedly engages in one-night stands a romantic. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. If you aren't thinking about owning a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Our favorite holding period is forever. Do not take yearly results too seriously. Instead, focus on 4 or 5 year averages. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. Why not invest your assets in the companies you really like? As Mae West said, too much of a good thing can be wonderful. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. The stock market is a no-call strike game. You don't have to swing at everything, you can wait for your pitch. Buy a stock the way you would buy a house. Understand and like it such that you'd be content to own it in the absence of any market. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. Wide diversification is only required and investors do not understand what they are doing. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. We always live in an uncertain world. What is certain is that the United States will go forward over time. Whether we're talking about socks or stocks, I like buying quality merchandise when it is marked down. Keep things simple and don't swing for the fences. When promised quick profits, respond with a quick no. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. What we learn from history is that people don't learn from history. Money is not everything. Make sure you earn a lot before speaking such nonsense. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful.